Hey, welcome back to Olson Farm. Today we are processing, cutting up chicken into parts. 3 days ago on Monday, I processed and butchered 14 chickens outside, rented some equipment from a local farm, scalder and a plucker, and I processed 14 Cornish cross birds. We had started with 24, but lost some along the way, and some we had to do early because with this breed sometimes they just give up walking. So did 4 of them early, so they're a little smaller, only about a pound or two, but 14 of them we were able to get up to full size, full 8 weeks of age to process, and that's a really good time to do those. They're not the cleanest birds. They're kind of messy, they're kind of dirty, they eat a lot and they poop a lot, but they produce really good meat and really tasty meat, and full big breasts and legs and thighs, and it's just definitely the best chicken that we've processed here. I've tried some other ones that didn't get nearly as big and took a lot longer. For the Cornish cross, the 8-week time, you save a ton of money on food, even though you'll go through a 50-pound bag every few days, maybe about 6 or 7 days for a 50-pound bag. But it's better than going 5 months and raising these birds, which are some of the breeds take that long to mature and get big enough. So I like the Cornish cross, and I don't think I'll ever go back. So today we're going to cut up into pieces that we normally use. We normally use boneless, skinless breasts, boneless, skinless thighs. We'll do some legs, and we'll do some packages of wings, and also chicken tenders and little nuggets. So today what I want to show you is my setup, and then how I process and cut up the chickens while they're raw, and then we'll bag them, seal them, and put them in the freezer. Okay, so here we have my setup on the kitchen counter. Got some that I've already done and started, and then we got the next one that I'll show you how to do. So we've got bowls here for the different parts. We got some breasts, we got some thighs, we've got some tenders and nuggets, we got some legs, and we got some wings. I also have a bowl for carcasses. Any bones, any extra parts like that go in there. And then I've got a bowl for skin and any other soft materials and stuff like that go in there, because that is going to end up in a big pot with all the livers and the gizzards and the hearts, and we'll boil that up and chop it all up, and then that is going to be some excellent dog treats. So you just spoonful of that stuff on your dog's food, and they will love you. Okay, here's the chicken ready to go. I've got a couple of cutting boards here, and these are the only tools I use. I've got the bone cutters. These are OXO bone scissors, which I like a lot, and then really sharp chef's knife or butcher knife. All right. Show you one more thing over here, and that is our food saver vacuum sealer. This is, I think, indispensable in this process. And I've ordered, I don't necessarily get the food saver bags, but I get just order some vacuum seal bags. They work really well, and it's just like a bag. It's really easy. You could do the rolls. I find the bags easiest to use, so we'll get to that. Okay, so here we have our chicken. This is a hen, so she's probably only got about the hens usually end up around 4, and I got a few 5-pounder, like 4.5 to 5 pounds of weight at this cut essentially, and then I got all the roosters, which I had about 5 roosters this time around. They got to over 5 pounds. I did get 1 6-pounder out of that. Beats the first few years I was doing this, where I was getting like 2 or 3 pound birds. This is much bigger. You can tell just the size of it, the size of the breasts. Just got a really good weight to it. This is the best kind of chicken for meat for sure. Okay, so I'm going to try and work around my tripod here, so it may not be quite as fluid as when I'm just in the zone and working it, but we'll go ahead and start. All right, so we're going to start by pulling out the leg here a little bit. There's a line right here. We're going to just slice along that. Okay, slice the skin. I'm going to bend the leg back here and keep cutting until we get to that joint. Okay, and once you're inside, you can kind of see that line there, where that line of fat is. That's right around where the joint is. So we're going to feel around in there. Don't be afraid to kind of pick up the bird and move it around a little bit. Oh, looks like the joint was a little bit further in than I thought. There we go. I'm just going to chop through there. Okay, that goes in the leg bowl. We go to the next leg here. Again, just cut down the skin there. Start bending the leg back. Okay. Again, just pick up the bird if you need to. Move it around to where you get it to where you need it to be to cut. That's best for you. Okay, so we're going to cut in there. Careful not to cut the breast. Okay, find the joint and cut down there. Leg bowl. All right, now the thighs. Okay, so you can see kind of this delineation here. This is a nice tasty nugget. We'll get to that later, but I'm going to cut around it for now. Okay, so the thighs, we're just going to follow that line, bend the joint back there, again, cut through that joint. Okay, and along here, it's just it's kind of a slanted couple of bones here that you'll just kind of carve down and cut that off. We'll save that for a little bit later. Okay, then next thigh. Okay, again, cut the skin here. Okay, again, cutting, pull that back. All right, cut through the joint. Okay, and then again, just kind of a slanted couple of bones here. You're just going to carve down. Get that meat off of there. Okay, again, save those for later. All right, we'll come back to those pieces. We'll do the wings next. Okay, again, you can kind of see this line right through there. That's where I'm going to cut. Okay, I like doing this from the back end first, and then I'll bring it around to the front here. All right, and then you're going to see the line here where that separates off the breast. Okay. Again, find the joint. You have to mangle it a little bit there. All right, there we go. Okay, wing we'll save for later. Cut those up in a bit. Okay, same thing this side. Again, here's that line. Cut through there. Wrap it around to the front. And go through there. All right. Now, last two pieces here are the breasts. So we're going to pull the skin off. Okay, and that goes in that dog pot bowl with all the skin and soft parts. So it's good old neck fat and stuff and skin in there. Peel that off again, using the dog. Okay. All right, now the breasts, a little tricky. If you ever filleted a fish that you've caught before, it's similar thing here. We're going to cut down that ridge line. I'm just going to take some shallow cuts at first, just on the side of that breastbone there. And we're going to cut down until we get to the rib cage. Okay. Forward here and get that piece here. Okay, So cut down. Now, like I said, it's like kind of like filleting a fish. You're going to cut down. Just keep letting the knife follow that rib cage. So you get down there. Okay. And just kind of scraping the rib cage. Not sure why there's blood in that one, but get rid of that. Okay, there's your breast. Some pieces here we can just cut away. Okay, that can go dog bowl. All right, now I always have this flappy piece here, which I only recently learned. This is where chicken tenders come from. So we're just going to cut that off there. Nice little chicken tender. And the breast there. Nice heavy breast there. Probably about a ½ pound. I've been packaging them to 2 breasts to a pack and getting to about 1 pound. So that's a pretty nice size for a chicken breast. Okay, I'm just going to do the same thing on the other side. Again, here's that kind of ridge line. We're just going to trim that away from there, again down to the rib cage. And then I'll flip this around. And again, kind of follow that rib cage down. Down to that joint again. Sorry if I'm bumping the camera here. All right, there's that. So again, here is that chicken tender. Goes in the tender bowl. Daughters love chicken tenders, so we'll be having that later on. Again, nice big breast. All right, now a couple other things before we get rid of this carcass. Well, not get rid of it, but put it in the carcass bowl. Because the carcasses will eventually get boiled, roasted, and then boiled again. Boiled just to cook them up, get all the foam off. Then we roast them in the oven until they get nice and crispy, and then we put that into a pot, boil that, and for some chicken bone broth. Okay. So, like I said, there's a couple little pieces on here that I want to get off before we take care of the carcass. They're just pieces that don't really fit in with anything else. I mean, you can try and carve these off. This is, if you're looking at, here's the tail end here, and here's the spine. Okay, you've got these 2 little pieces right here, these little delicious tender little bits here. Sometimes you can just kind of peel them out. This looks like that in half. Okay, nice little piece of meat there. Probably better to carve them out. But these are really super tender bits of the chicken that they don't really end up in a leg or a thigh or a breast. They're just kind of off on their own. So I like to kind of use them, and then I'll package these with the tenders, and then when we make those, we'll just make little chicken nuggets as well. So they're small, but it's still good meat, especially that piece. Now, there's also, you can kind of see here, kind of where those pieces kind of come from. Okay, the other 2 are right up here under where the breast was. So here's the neck here. So these little pieces here, so you just kind of carve into those and just kind of scrape off some of that meat. Again, it's not huge, but something. And better than wasting it, right? Keep that little piece. All right, so I'll do that again here. Watch the bone. Okay, again, not, popcorn chicken maybe, all right? But it's something. All right, last couple things we're gonna do here there's all this fleshy part that's right here. Just cut that out. We'll give that to the dogs. So that goes in a skin bowl. Skin and soft good stuff. Okay, so we're left with this. Just to make this a little easier to package. We'll break that in half. And then I kind of just stuff that right in there. And then that will go into the carcass bowl to where, and then I usually do about 3 of those in a gallon Ziploc, and then until we're ready to roast those. Okay, so our family is big on chicken wings. We like them a lot. Get that out here. So I always like to package these as well. So here, again, we're just kind of looking for the joint here. Okay, and usually it's a diagonal kind of cut up through there. Okay, then you got your little drumstick part of the wing, and then same thing here. Find the joint, and again diagonal cut, and then you've got your flat. Okay, those go in the wing bowls. The extra little, that part there goes in the bone bowl, or the carcass bowl. So that'll get boiled up with the carcass and roasted for some bone broth. And then same thing here. And diagonal cut through there. That goes bone bowl. This goes wing bowl. All right. Last bit of piece here. We're going to do this. Slide this over here. We're going to do this on this cutting board. Okay, so the thigh. Back to the thigh. So I'm going to debone that. So I'm going to take the skin off first. Okay. All right. Now, grabbing my knife. Okay. So I'm going to have this upside down, bone side up. Okay. What I'm going to do here is just kind of cut along the bone. Kind of cut some of that meat away from this side of the bone. And then, if we reach around, kind of hollow that out. Okay. So we've got the bone just attached at the top and bottom. Kind of cut that around here. And kind of, sometimes you'll get this extra little bit here, so you want to make sure you cut that out. That's kind of a connective thing that you don't want to eat. Okay, now you have a thigh. One here. Around, get that out. Again, we're going to cut that piece off there. And there we go. Okay. Oop, forgot the skin on that one. Take that off. And we have our thigh. These go in the carcass bowl, and we have processed a chicken. All right, I just want to show you one more quick thing in how I keep track of all the weights and everything and see how much meat we get. So first we'll start with this document here, the whole chicken. There's the 4 I did early. You saw those, 1.5 pounds, 2 pounds, 4 ounces, almost 2 there. So June 8th was when I processed all the rest. So here I have 5 roosters. Those are those weights, 5 pounds, 5 pounds. I had almost a 5 pound there. And 1 rooster that got to be 6 pounds. Here's all my hen weights there, right around 5 pounds, maybe a little more. But so we keep track of that. And then I'll have a few more to do yet. And then over on this document, I've got my boneless breasts, the date I processed them, pounds and ounces. So you see here, all around a pound, maybe a pound and a third there. Boneless thigh, and then how many are per package. So 2 breasts per package, boneless thighs 4 per package. Gets to me to about a pound. Wings, I do 16. Gets me around 2 pounds. It's about, it's a good family snacky meal there. So I'll do 16 wings, and legs I'll do 4 per package. Again, 1 pound, getting around a pound and a half there. The tenders and nuggets, we'll just put essentially it's from roughly about 4 chickens, and I'll do those at a time, so I do about a pound and a half there. And then parts down here, the carcasses, 3 per pack, getting about 4.5 pounds there for carcasses, for 3 carcasses. Eventually I will also process all the gizzards, hearts, and what else? Livers, and put all that together, and I'll weigh that, package it, and then the skin as well. So that's how I kind of keep track of all the meat, and eventually I'll be able to go back and look at all this as opposed to how much feed that I paid for and spent on, and what the costs were to where the actual meat output was. All right, so we've vacuum sealed all these pieces. This is essentially 4 birds that I've got parsed out here. I have 4 packages of breast, 2 each, 2 packages of thighs, the tenders and nuggets, 1 package of those, package of wings, 16 of them, and then 2 packages of legs, of 4 each. So that's again 4 birds weighed out. I've marked the weights on there, recorded those on the computer, and they're ready to go in the freezer. And there we have it. 14 birds right up in there. That's a lot of breasts. I got a few packages of necks right there as well. Legs, thighs, wings, tenders, all that. That's 14 birds. And then we have down here the carcasses, the parts, and the skin, which again, those will end up being stock and parts for the dogs. So there we go. That's a day of work. All right, there you have it. 14 birds in the freezer. All that's left is to clean up and get the kitchen put back together. I will say, just to let you know I went through that pretty quick with all the cutting and flipping and all that, so it took me a long time to get comfortable with that, to find where those joints are, where to make the cuts from what angles. So it might take you a little while to do that in the beginning. I know I went through it pretty quick, but at least you have the video. If you want to try it on your own, feel free. Kind of pause as you go, and hope you can do it. Send me some comments. Let me know how I did. Let me know how you did. And we'll talk to you again another time. All right, take care.